Super Mario World, the fourth installment of Nintendo's Italian Plumber, a game that started a new era for the company, as well as being one of the main competitors in the war between Sega and Nintendo, the same war that led both companies to make million-dollar mistakes, to the point that Sega could never regain the dominance it had achieved with the Genesis or Mega Drive. But that's a different story. In this game, we once again take control of Mario, although we never stopped using him in this saga. He decides to go on vacation to a Jurassic island. I suppose dinosaurs were very trendy at the time, but I'm speculating, along with Princess Toadstool and his brother Luigi. This same region is where Bowser has his quarters and is under his domain, and by chance, he decides to return to his old profession of kidnapping princesses, I suppose to commit regicide and take over the world, but not before allowing her royal guard to try to rescue her. Chivalry above all, learn something from that, Lennon. Although Bowser also keeps under his control the offspring of a species of devouring dinosaur called Yoshi, who I suppose maintain order and justice in this kingdom. This game marks the debut of one of Mario's most charismatic characters, Yoshi, and it's also the last where the princess is called Toadstool, at least in America, and I suppose in Europe. The game is a platformer and was released alongside Nintendo's console, the Super Nintendo, continuing with the same mechanics as its previous games, but making a leap in graphics and some mechanics. It was released under the names Super Mario Bros. 4 in Japan and Super Mario World in the rest of the world. And to be honest, the American name does it justice. The whole game feels like a world. It's not perfect, but you can explore each level at will. This is because the central map mechanic from the previous installment returns, with the difference that you travel at will, as long as you pass the level where you're stuck, making each island connected to each other. I can't say it's an improvement because elements like mini-games, dancing enemies, and the feeling of taking a better route are not included, but those are extra elements, so you still enjoy it the same way. This time we have the peculiarity that some levels, marked with a red dot, have a secret exit, allowing you to determine a faster route to finish the game, presenting 96 exits, a considerable number. Being a much more extensive game than the first two installments, they corrected the error of Super Mario Bros. 3, the ability to save our game, and I call an error because, at least for me, SMB 3 becomes tedious when you've been playing for a while, and not being able to continue your game on another occasion forces you to finish it in one sitting. That doesn't make it bad at all, but it's something I don't like. However, this save could only be done after finishing a ghost house, a castle, or activating hidden switches, and if you die before saving, you'll be sent to the title screen and load from the last save point. Each level is played the same way as its predecessors. We go through the screen from left to right in most of them, stomping enemies and jumping from platform to platform. But there are some differences, such as the ability to do a spinning jump that can destroy blocks or disintegrate some enemies, as long as you grabbed a mushroom beforehand. Another is the implementation of Yoshi, whom we ride, and we can feed most enemies to him when Mario does a lick. We can take Yoshi to almost all levels, except castles and ghost houses, which I suppose is done to make the level harder for the player, but honestly, I can't find another reason. We have a midway goal that allows you to continue that level if you die, Yoshi coins that give you an extra life if you get 5, a moon that gives you 3 extra lives when grabbed. Reaching 100 points of the goal sends you to a mini-game where you win lives, the implementation of a cape that serves as an item. When running you can fly, and by pressing the jump button, Mario uses the air current and rises again. You can fall like a cannonball while flying, killing almost all enemies that touch the ground. And if you just jump and hold the jump button, you glide gently, which greatly facilitates landing on small platforms suspended over certain depth. You know how Mario tends to fall. Although the above makes the game very good, its graphics became a standard, and if you don't believe me, the same aesthetic was used in Mario Maker, and its music is highly recognizable, especially the main theme. I personally love the Ghost House music. The game left aside several things that were great successes in its previous installment, especially the last prequel. The main thing is that the number of items was significantly reduced. For having a vast catalog, we only have 2. Most could be said to be not useful, but at least they gave you the possibility to play as you wanted, whereas here it became switching between the flower and the cape. Your inventory became a single slot that stores one item, which you can grab at any time during the level by pressing a button, and it will fall so you can pick it up, which can cause you to activate it while distracted and in danger of dying. And if you can't grab it, you lose it forever. It's not bad, but it could cost you a life at a crucial moment. And one thing I wonder why they didn't implement, being able to store a star. It would have been more useful to save one and activate it when needed. Unlike in Super Mario Bros. 3, where you can save them, but you activate items on the map, like the star, but when activated you can only use it during the first 5 seconds of the level, making it useless since very few levels have deadly enemies at the start. Another thing that is completely different is that thematic levels are gone, making some world monotonous. They have different aesthetics, but many like the forest repeat. It's not bad and many are original like the sunken ship, but I would have liked the transition to be more stable, going from a forest to a snowy place. These are things that don't detract from the great game it is, but they cause fans to be divided over which is better, this or Super Mario Bros. 3, which I honestly find absurd, since we can enjoy both games, each with good and bad things. On the positive side, Yoshi has different attributes depending on the Koopa shell he eats. If he eats a blue one, he grows wings and can fly. If he eats a yellow one, he can perform a heavy jump and kill nearby enemies. The red one allows him to shoot a burst of 3 fireballs, and the green one simply spits it out, killing enemies. Also, there are 3 hidden Yoshis of different colors, each with an attribute depending on its color. When riding Yoshi, if you take a hit, you simply dismount and he runs away, allowing you to grab him again without losing your item. They began to exploit enemy sizes, some being huge and others changing shape when damaged. But in general, enemies are very similar, adding some new ones to this universe. We can climb on a grate where several Koopa pass on both sides. And we can also do that, a small thing, but I really like these parts because they add variety to the journey. Each section has a boss. In normal castles, we have Resner, a quartet of Triceratops-like creatures that we must knock off a mill, adding variety, but honestly once you get the hang of it, it becomes very easy, making this part start to get boring. In the final castles, we face each of Bowser's 7 children, the Koopalings. This time their attacks vary, and it's their last appearance for a long time, until the arrival of New Super Mario Bros. U. And finally, we enter Bowser's castle to rescue Toadstool in her role as damsel in distress. Yes, look at how she waves her arms like Popeye's olive oil, and we have to throw his toys at his head while he is in his little ship. Why are you waving your hands like that? And why are you only giving me a mushroom? Can't you see I'm dying? But to get to the final boss, we have to go through 2 of the 8 doors in his castle. I like this because it gives you the option to find a better path, where you can skip everything and find a way to get there faster. To make your life easier, you can activate switches hidden on the map. They activate boxes where you can obtain items, and obviously you'll need to do that to complete the game 100%. Hidden portals take you to the Star World, a special world that, when completed properly, leads you to a circuit of other levels. These are the hardest in the game. After completing them, the appearance of some enemies changes and some stage colors change. A purely aesthetic thing. We can play with 2 players, with Luigi making his appearance. Players take turns on levels, and each has their own lives. Also, if one of them dies, one of the 2 appears as dead, and a living player can pass some lives to them, not interrupting the game. To play this game, we have different versions. You can get a version called Super Mario All-Stars plus Super Mario World, which has no changes, a game I recommend because it includes the other previous Mario games, with improved graphics and the ability to save your game. Another is the GBA version called Super Mario Advance 2, which is a port of this with changes, such as being forced to collect the 5 dragon coins, with a counter for them. Luigi is an optional character for single player. It has an introduction and some other changes, a very good version that also has the added benefit of being portable and allowing you to play the original Mario Brothers. And for the Virtual Console, you can get the original version, allowing new players to purchase it on Nintendo's newer consoles. So you don't have to spend money buying an SNES in this game if you don't have one, plus the virtues of this type of game where the internal battery doesn't run out. This game started the reign of the Super Nintendo. Many players consider it the best, and others don't, but both agree that it's a great title, adding new characters that became standard in the saga and removing others for reasons we don't know. If you have the chance to play it, don't hesitate. It's one of the best games in history, a game that has aged so well that it still feels fresh. All of that is the supreme Super Mario World. I hope you liked the video. If you did, hit like. If you know someone who might like it, share it on your social networks, and don't forget to subscribe if you like the channel. If you have any questions, suggestions, or simply want to comment something, don't hesitate to do so in the comments box. Also, if you're a big fan of this channel, hit the notification bell to be among the first to see the videos. Thank you very much for watching this video. See you later.